Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Antonia. I'm a fourth year medical student who's currently intercalating, and today I just thought we could talk about my intercalated degree and how I'm finding it so far. I normally make videos about medical school, university, lifestyle, and I throw in some commentary as well, so if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe if that sounds good to you, and keep watching this video. I feel like I say this in a lot of videos, but I'm currently intercalating. If you don't know what intercalation is, feel free to check out my video on it. I'll link it up here somewhere. Basically, I'm taking a year out to do a different degree, and I'm doing that degree in global health at Imperial College London. Because of COVID, I'm not actually currently in London. I'm back home with my family, and I'm doing university remotely because Imperial told us in summer that first semester was going to be completely online, except for 1 week of face-to-face teaching, which will also be offered online if you can't go down to campus or anything. I've been here and I've been doing university remote. I've been doing it online. I've been doing it at 1 a.m. in the morning. Time zones are kicking my butt once again, but I just thought that I would talk about how I've been finding the course, how I've been finding remote learning, and how it differs from studying medicine as well. I remember how confused I was when I was applying to intercalate. So I'd applied between December and March, but I wasn't sure about intercalation until literally like the month before I had to definitely decide. So I just thought that this might be a bit of an insight just in case you're considering intercalating but you don't really have all that much information about it. There is a bit of a lack of information on YouTube especially about it. I didn't want to forget anything for this video, so once again I have my laptop here with a couple of notes on it, so if I'm looking down at any point or I'm looking off to the side, that's what I'm referring to. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm about a month and a half into my new course, Global Health, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It's definitely different to medicine in a lot of ways, but I'm quite enjoying it. One of the main reasons I wanted to intercalate is because I just don't feel comfortable with research and research skills. Reading a paper, like a scientific article or journal, makes me itch all over. I feel so nervous. One of the things with intercalation that people said that when you intercalate, you have to get really used to reading papers and writing like commentaries to papers and analysing them. I've definitely felt that on this course. There's a lot of paper reading, which took some time to get used to because in a week we can have multiple papers to read for different lectures, seminars, Q&A sessions and things. It's definitely challenging, but it's good. I feel like I'm getting a bit more to grips with actually doing that, which is one of the key skills you need as a doctor, really. I have to say, one of the things that really drew me to the courses at Imperial in particular were the lack of exams. You know, exams are essential. I know we need to test our knowledge somehow, but especially after this exam period I had for my year 3 exams, I was ready to say goodbye to exams for a year. It is nice not to have to worry about cramming everything in for an exam. So instead we have a series of coursework assignments. This semester we have 3 coursework assignments that are altogether worth about 30% of our overall grade. And then in the new year, we have group assignments, and then we have our individual research project at the end of the year, which then counts for the rest of the degree. The research project counts for almost half the degree, so that is very make or break. And it's really important that you've taken all the skills you've learned throughout the course for that bit so that you can make sure you get the best grade possible. I do feel a little bit nervous at the prospect of me having to be really good at research by the end of the year so I can get good marks in my project, but I do feel also a little bit confident that by the time I get to that point I will have a better understanding of the skills that are needed to do really well in that project, so I'm looking forward to it. Overall, very optimistic. This course in particular was marketed to be a very interactive and hands-on course with a lot of group work, and they've lived up to that name definitely. There is a lot of group work. Our first semester is split up into 3 blocks, and each block we change the groups that we work in, which is nice to get to know people. I do think that group work can be very hit or miss. In particular, my first group that I had when I started at Imperial was just amazing. Honestly, shout out to Team Worldwide. I know none of you guys will be watching this video, but they were probably the best group in my opinion to start off with because everyone was so open and kind. There were 4 Imperial students and 2 of us externals, and everyone was just welcoming, and I found that with the course in general. The teaching staff as well as the students have been really welcoming, and I think that with light of obviously everything that's happening with COVID-19 pushing everything online, they have been very understanding about the difficulties of online teaching and online learning as well. Now for me in particular, However, I am in a different time zone, in a different country. I'm actually not the only person in our class that is in a different time zone. They have been very, very accommodating for us, and I've tried to, you know, offer as much support as they can. Obviously, because there's a lot of group work, it means I still have to be up at the middle of the night, which is a bit tiring. But at the end of the day, I try and remind myself that I'm halfway through, and God willing that everything with COVID starts to calm down a little bit, I'll be able to go back in the new year and I won't have to battle time zones and things. The group work aspect, like I've said, I do like it, but I do think that sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. There's a lot of group work, a lot of getting presentations together or working on assignments as a group and things, even though for this semester all of the assessments are individual. The mocks that we do for our real assessments are always in groups, which can be really good but can also feel a bit overwhelming at times. It's a good way to learn because we put multiple heads together to come up with ideas, and at the end of the day, collaboration is really, really important in the medical field. So it's nice, and it forces you, especially as an external student that I am, to like get to know other people on the course, which is quite nice. There are certain stereotypes I heard about Imperial students before I actually got to Imperial. I heard that people were stuck up. I heard that people only cared about their own grades and not anybody else. I heard that they were very, very keen and very intelligent people. And honestly, I have found the Imperial students I've interacted with to be really nice and to be very, very focused and very like hardworking, typical American med student gunners in some cases. Like I said before, they've been really, really welcoming and nice. As an external student, it can feel really weird because not only are you trying to get to grips with the new course, intercalating as opposed to doing medical school, you're also having to get used to new people, new teaching staff, a new way of actually doing assignments as well, even down to the referencing that different universities use. They have subtle differences I didn't really account for before I got into the course. I'm hoping that I'm adjusting to these differences. It's a good environment to do it, and I do think that people have been quite nice. The course content has actually been so exciting and intriguing to learn about. It truly is medicine in a different context and in a different light. Diseases and conditions that we've been learning about on the medical course, we're now learning about in context. We're learning how these conditions affect communities and different countries and different types of countries, what sorts of factors affect the way that people can be treated. So interesting. I know that global health and public health are also taught on majority of medical courses, if not all, but this definitely adds a level of depth to it that I never really understood. Even the different forces at play. So we do learn about the health aspects, but then we're also learning about other aspects like the economic side, policy and politics as well. Very different to what we learn on the medical course. I'm really enjoying it because we have lectures and live sessions and Q&As and things every single day. I do worry about whether I'm keeping up with everything and whether I'm allowing everything to really soak in. However, it's interesting, so I feel motivated to keep going back and trying to push myself to read even more, understand even more, take in even more. I'm feeling that real sense of motivation that I think over lockdown and with the exams and everything being the way that they were, I felt I lost a little bit. So it's nice to have that fire reignited a little bit. I am nervous about the assessments, I have to be honest. With the way that my medical course is structured at Liverpool, we don't really have very much coursework per se, and like running assignments that we have to pay attention to so we can get good marks. Majority, if not all of the year, really hangs on your OSCEs and your final year exams. So this feels very different for me, and I am nervous because, you know, we're doing things like presentations and writing 1,000-word essays for our assignments, which again, it's very different to what I'm used to. But I'm hoping and praying that it's helping to build skills which I'll need for the future anyway, and I'm hoping that I'm actually getting better at it. I do feel a little bit more confident in it, but I just want to do as well as possible. I would really, really like to end the year on a good grade that I'm happy with. So that's all I'm working for at the moment. I'm hoping that in the new year as well, it'll be a slightly different experience because we'll be able to go a little bit more hopefully onto campus and to discover London a little bit more, which is part of the reason I chose to intercalate in London. But we'll have to just see how Miss Rona decides to behave in this next couple of weeks and months. So yeah, I think that's everything that I'd written down and planned to speak about. Please let me know down in the comments if there's anything you'd like me to talk about or anything that you'd like me to cover, discuss. I'm gonna try and keep you guys updated as much as possible. Maybe do one of these videos every other month or so, just to keep you guys informed as to how I'm finding it. Other than that, thank you for watching. If you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up and to subscribe if you're not already. Share it with any friends that you have that may want to intercalate and want to find out a little bit more about intercalation. Like I said at the start of the video, I really think that we don't have that much insight into intercalation until you're actually doing it, and I'd like to change that on YouTube a little bit. So hopefully this has been a useful video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!